Here is a *** 550 word expansion of key point 1 * in the Matthew Hussey style tones, ecologically insightful, conversational, and motivational. When we talk about attraction, the very first thing to understand is how a man's energy subtly shifts the moment he sees the woman he's genuinely drawn to. This isn't about flashy gestures or dramatic displays. It's about the quiet, almost invisible changes that happen before he even speaks. Human beings communicate more through presence than words, and when a man is interested, his body and energy often betray him before his mind even catches up. You might notice it in the way he moves toward you, or even the way he pauses for a fraction of a second, as if the world around him has slightly slowed. There's a micro shift in posture, a softening of the shoulders, a tiny adjustment in stance that signals openness. It's subtle, yes, but it's there. And what's fascinating is that most women overlook it because they're searching for overt signs, grand declarations, obvious compliments, or obvious flirting. But attraction, real attraction, doesn't need to announce itself. It whispers, and it shows up in energy before it ever shows up in words. Psychologically, this shift in energy happens because the brain recognizes value before the conscious mind does. When he sees someone who sparks interest, there's a cascade of neurochemical reactions, dopamine, oxytocin, and other signals of emotional engagement. This isn't something he plans or performs, it's instinctive. His body and energy are responding to something real, and the moment he greets you, that energy becomes a lens through which you can see him clearly. The tone of his voice often changes too. It may soften, or it may carry a subtle warmth or attentiveness that he doesn't exhibit with others. Even the simplest greeting, a hey or hello, carries weight when spoken with genuine interest. The inflection, the cadence, the slight hesitation, all of it becomes meaningful because it signals that he is present in a way he isn't with just anyone. And attention is the currency of desire. The fact that he's adjusting his energy and focus for you is a reflection of the priority you hold in his mind, even if he hasn't articulated it yet. There's also an almost imperceptible excitement, a nervous undercurrent that many men unconsciously display. You might notice it in a quickened step, a smile that arrives slightly too soon, or a brief sparkle in the eyes. This isn't anxiety, it's anticipation. It's the body responding to something it wants, but hasn't yet fully defined. And this is where many women misinterpret what's happening. They see nervousness and assume discomfort, when in fact it's a sign that his emotional system is already engaged. What's crucial here is understanding that these subtle energy shifts are honest. Words can be rehearsed, behaviors can be faked, but energy rarely lies. The way a man greets you, the way his presence changes when you arrive, is an unfiltered glimpse into his inner state. It reveals interest, curiosity, and the very first stages of emotional investment. So the next time you notice a man's energy subtly shifting when he greets you, pay attention. Observe the posture, the tone, the focus, and the presence. These are not random. They are early indicators that he is invested, even before he has the courage, or even the awareness, to say it out loud. Because attraction begins in energy first, and his subtle shift is the first doorway into the truth of what he wants. Here is a ** 550 word expansion of key point 2 * in the Matthew Hussey style tone, intellectual, conversational, psychologically insightful, and motivational. One of the clearest signs a man is genuinely attracted to you shows up in his attention. And when I say attention, I don't mean just being polite or superficially present. I mean that deep, intentional focus that tells you he's noticing more than you think he is. Attention is one of the most honest currencies of attraction because it cannot be faked for long. When a man really wants someone, he invests his mental and emotional energy in a way that leaves traces, even in small moments like a greeting. You might notice it in the details he recalls. Perhaps he mentions a conversation you had days, weeks, or even months ago. Something you might have thought he forgot. Maybe it's a small piece of personal information, like your favorite coffee or a story you told him about a family member. These are not trivial things. They are emotional footprints. When he remembers these details, it shows he values you enough to store information that doesn't benefit him in any immediate or obvious way. Most people forget the small things about others, but attraction drives a man to remember. He is unconsciously keeping track because you matter to him, and this attention doesn't stop at memory. It extends into the moment of the greeting itself. You might see him lean in slightly, lower his voice just enough to create intimacy, or hold your gaze for a beat longer than usual. These micro gestures signal that he is present with you in a way he isn't with just anyone. He's not multitasking mentally. He's not thinking about his phone, the next meeting, or other distractions. He's fully engaged because you've captured his focus, and focus, when combined with care, is a powerful indicator of desire. What's fascinating is that this attention often precedes conscious acknowledgement of his feelings. He may not even realize he's doing it. He may believe he's being friendly, polite, or thoughtful, but the truth is deeper. His mind has already prioritized you. And that prioritization is a form of emotional investment. It's one of the first ways the brain signals to the body and to the rest of the world that someone is important. Attraction is not just a feeling. It's a pattern of thought, of noticing, of internalized attention. And when a man greets you with this level of attentiveness, it's an early manifestation of emotional attachment. Another key point is intention. Men are generally wired to conserve their attention. We focus on things that matter to us. So when he invests that energy in remembering and noticing you, it signals potential for connection, for intimacy, and for deeper emotional engagement. It's a silent acknowledgement that you occupy a space in his inner world that very few people do. So when you recognize these moments, don't dismiss them as coincidence or casual politeness. Notice how he listens, what he recalls, and how his presence shifts toward you. These are not accidental. They are the subtle markers of attraction long before he even admits it to himself or to you. Asterisk, because the man who truly wants you will show it in the details he remembers and the focus he gives, attention that speaks louder than any words ever could. Asterisk, here is a asterisk 550. Word expansion of key point 3 asterisk in the Matthew Hussey style, tone insightful, conversational, psychologically deep, and motivating. One of the most revealing aspects of attraction is how a man's micro expressions, those tiny, often subconscious facial cues, betray what he's feeling long before he ever says it out loud. We live in a culture that teaches men to hide emotions, to mask vulnerability, and to maintain composure, especially around women they're interested in. But the human face is remarkably honest. It leaks truth in ways words never can, and a greeting is one of the moments when those leaks become impossible to ignore. When he greets you, notice his eyes. Eye contact is one of the most primal forms of communication. A fleeting glance can become a lingering gaze. A quick smile can become a subtle lift of the eyebrows that conveys warmth, curiosity, and even admiration. These micro expressions happen in milliseconds, too fast to be consciously manufactured. And that's what makes them so reliable. If a man is drawn to you, even slightly, his eyes will reveal it. They will carry a spark, a brightness, a shift in focus that differentiates you from everyone else in the room. The mouth, too, tells a story. A smile that touches the eyes is more than politeness, it's authenticity. Slight changes in the shape of his lips, a small upward tug, a quick smirk, or even a brief nervous bite can signal interest and excitement. These are not learned behaviors. They are instinctive responses to emotional arousal, and when combined with other cues, they form a pattern that cannot easily be faked. Micro expressions are particularly powerful because they are often unconscious. A man may believe he is behaving casually, projecting calm or indifference, but in reality his body, and especially his face, is betraying the truth. This is why paying attention to these subtle signals can give you insight into his genuine feelings long before he articulates them. They are early indicators of emotional investment, often appearing before the first words of attraction are spoken. Another layer to understand is the psychological reason behind these expressions. When someone feels drawn to another person, the brain activates circuits related to reward and motivation. Dopamine spikes, the heart rate may increase slightly, and facial muscles react in micro ways that express anticipation and engagement. A man's micro expressions during a greeting are essentially the body's way of saying, "I notice you and you matter to me," even if his conscious mind hasn't fully processed or acknowledged it. This is why micro expressions are so valuable. They offer a window into the subconscious, into the hidden layer of attraction that often goes unspoken. And when combined with attention, tone, and presence, like we've discussed in the previous points, they become undeniable proof that he is emotionally engaged. So when you greet a man and notice these small, fleeting changes in his face, don't dismiss them as random or meaningless. They are his internal truth escaping into the visible world, a subtle confession that he is invested, interested, and intrigued. Asterisk asterisk, because the micro expressions he cannot control reveal far more than the words he chooses. They are the unconscious language of desire speaking before the mind even catches up. Asterisk asterisk, here is a asterisk asterisk 550 word expansion of key point 4 asterisk asterisk in the Matthew Hussey style tones, ecologically insightful, conversational and motivational. One of the most powerful signs a man is attracted to you shows up in the way he unconsciously lets his guard down. Men are taught from a very young age to protect themselves, to hide vulnerability, and to maintain control. Emotional openness doesn't come naturally for many men, especially in the presence of someone they care about or are attracted to. But when a man greets a woman he truly wants, the mask he usually wears slips, sometimes just a little, sometimes in ways that are surprisingly obvious if you know where to look. This guard, dropping, often begins subtly through his posture and gestures. He may angle his body toward you more than usual, remove the barriers that normally keep him composed, or relax his shoulders in a way that signals he feels safe enough to be authentic. These are small shifts, but they reveal a deeper psychological truth. He trusts you enough to let you see a version of himself that is rarely on display. Authenticity is a magnet, and attraction is often less about words and more about the emotional safety someone offers. The tone and cadence of his voice also reveal this vulnerability. He may speak slightly softer, slower, or warmer than usual. He may add a touch of humor, self-deprecation, or tentative curiosity that he wouldn't use with others. All of these subtle behaviors indicate that he is making a conscious or unconscious effort to be relatable, approachable, and human. He's not trying to impress in the traditional sense. He's trying to connect. That's the distinction. A man who drops his guard is signaling desire without needing to say it outright. Another layer to understand is the psychology behind guard dropping. When a man is drawn to someone, his nervous system shifts. Cortisol may rise just enough to create slight tension, while oxytocin triggers a sense of attachment and comfort. The combination of these chemical responses makes him more attentive, more present, and more transparent than he is in everyday interactions. That's why you might notice that even small, ordinary greetings feel charged with significance. He is exposing a version of himself that is usually private, and that exposure is a subtle confession of interest. This behavior is particularly important because it signals emotional availability. Many men may flirt, joke, or compliment without actually opening themselves emotionally. But a man who lowers his defenses during a greeting is revealing more than attraction. He is revealing the capacity for connection. He's showing that he can be present, sincere, and responsive in a way that lays the foundation for deeper emotional engagement. So the next time a man greets you and you notice these subtle signs, the softening of posture, the relaxed demeanor, the warmth in his tone, pay attention. They are not coincidental. They are signals that he is invested, that he wants to be seen, and that he is beginning to trust you with the parts of himself he usually guards. Because when a man drops his guard, even for a moment, he is showing you the truest version of his desire and the beginnings of emotional connection that words alone could never convey. Here is a *550 word expansion of key point 5 * in the Matthew Hussey style tones ecologically deep, conversational, and motivating. One of the most revealing indicators that a man is genuinely attracted to you shows up in the nervous excitement he carries when he greets you. This is different from anxiety in a general sense. It's a subtle energy, a barely perceptible tension combined with anticipation that speaks louder than words ever could. Men are wired to hide vulnerability, but attraction triggers an involuntary response in the body. When a man is interested, his nervous system reacts. Slightly faster heartbeat, quickened breath, a flicker of energy in the gestures he can't quite control. These moments of subtle nervousness are not mistakes. They are honest signals of emotional investment. The reason this happens is rooted in psychology and biology. When someone excites our interest, the brain releases dopamine, the neurotransmitter responsible for reward, pleasure, and motivation. Alongside this, the body produces a mild surge of adrenaline, preparing us to engage, to impress, and to connect. That surge can manifest in very human ways: a small fidget, a shift in stance, a sudden smile, or even a slight hesitation before speaking. It's not awkwardness, it's the physical embodiment of attraction, a signal that his emotional system is fully engaged. You'll notice this nervous excitement often comes with heightened attentiveness. He's more present, more focused, more invested in the brief moments of interaction. He listens carefully to every word you say, responds with genuine interest, and asks questions that show he's paying attention. It's almost as if the world narrows to you alone during those few seconds of greeting. This intensity is not accidental. It is a biological and emotional reaction to someone who matters more than the ordinary. At the same time, this nervous energy often translates into small, subtle displays of effort. He may adjust his posture to appear more open, smooth his clothing, or shift his hands in ways that signal readiness and engagement. These micro adjustments are not calculated, they are instinctive. His body is trying to communicate, to bridge the internal excitement with the external world. And this is one of the key things to understand. Attraction is rarely hidden perfectly. The body almost always speaks the truth, even when the mind attempts to control it. What makes this particularly interesting is that women often misread these cues. Nervousness is sometimes mistaken for discomfort or disinterest, but in reality, it is the opposite. It is the first physical manifestation of emotional engagement. He cares enough to be affected by your presence, and that care is being communicated subtly, non-verbally, and powerfully. So, the next time a man greets you and you notice this barely perceptible nervous excitement, pay attention. It's in the spark of his eyes, the energy in his gestures, the way he leans just slightly forward, or how his smile carries more than casual politeness. These are unspoken signs that he is emotionally invested and genuinely interested. Because the nervous excitement he cannot fully control is more than attraction. It's a reflection of his care, his anticipation, and the beginning of emotional connection that words alone could never capture. Here is a * 550 word expansion of key point 6 * in the Matthew Hussey style. Tone, intellectual, psychologically insightful, conversational, and motivating. One of the most profound ways a man signals genuine interest is through the energy he brings when he greets you, a presence that is unmistakable, even if it is subtle. Attraction is not only about what he says or does, it is also about the atmosphere he creates around you. There's an intensity in his focus, a vibrancy in his gestures, and a weight to his attention that draws you in, almost like an invisible gravitational pull. This energy is a reflection of desire, care, and anticipation combined, and it reveals far more than words ever could. When a man is genuinely drawn to someone, his energy shifts before he even speaks. There's a heightened alertness, a spark that runs through his movements. He may unconsciously mirror your posture, subtly match your tone, or lean just slightly toward you. These are small, often unnoticed signals, yet they indicate his mind is engaged and his focus is on you alone. His energy is no longer dispersed. It has found its anchor in your presence. Psychologically, this is fascinating. Our brains are wired to respond to people we value and desire with heightened awareness. He may experience a surge of dopamine, which fuels feelings of excitement and anticipation. Oxytocin may also rise, creating a sense of connection even in a brief interaction. The combination of these neurochemical responses translates into physical cues. Eye contact that lingers just a beat longer than necessary, a smile that feels personal, or a subtle forward lean that communicates interest. These are instinctive behaviors. They are the body's way of expressing feelings that the mind might not yet have articulated. Energy is also contagious. When a man's greeting carries genuine enthusiasm or care, it has the power to make you feel noticed, valued, and emotionally present. This is why energy is often a more reliable signal than words alone. Words can be rehearsed, filtered, or strategically deployed, but energy is harder to manufacture authentically. It emerges naturally from the alignment of thought, emotion, and desire. A man who channels his energy toward you is, in essence, demonstrating that you occupy a meaningful space in his inner world. Another critical point is consistency. A single energetic greeting may be overlooked as coincidence, but repeated expressions of this focus, excitement, and attentiveness are unmistakable. They form a pattern that reveals genuine attraction and intention. Over time, the energy he brings in greetings and interactions becomes a map of his emotional engagement, showing you not just that he is interested, but that he is willing to invest presence and attention in you. So when you notice a man greeting you with this unmistakable energy, pay attention. Observe how his presence shifts, how his gestures, tone, and focus subtly adapt, and how he prioritizes you in that moment. These are not random behaviors. They are signals that he is emotionally engaged, invested, and genuinely drawn to you. Asterisk, because the energy a man brings when he greets you is a language of desire, a silent, powerful, and truthful expression that reveals the depth of his interest long before any words are spoken. Asterisk.